Okay, hello. Good day, everybody. I think we are live now. So let me make sure everything's looking good here. Tonight, we got another webinar going on about network marketing sponsoring. I'm glad to bring this to you. If you've been to any of the past events, you got an idea of how these work. I know there's a lot of new people on tonight. I'm going to share with you some sponsoring tips, some things I've learned through the years of sponsoring. So I'm going to be doing some slides. I have some slides. I see people are jumping on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn a little, just a couple of minutes, give some more time for people to hop on and get these slides prepared. If you have not black screen, I guess you directions anyway. But if somebody's on the phone with you saying that they got a black screen and you don't tell them to refresh the screen, and it will show the webinar. So you just got to refresh it around 8 for some people, depending on what browser you use. All right, looks like the volume's working. I see everything's working. I'm going to go into screen share. There's a lot to cover, so I've got to move quick. I don't have a whole lot of time to spare. It looks a little funny now, but that's the way it goes. If you've never been to one of my webinars, that's just how it goes. Let me minimize this. Now you should be seeing my screen. I've got these slides ready to go. I'm going to be setting it up. I'm going to be going to present mode. And tonight's event webinar is going to be turned into a video, and I will be using it for a funnel. I got my beverage here because I got a lot to discuss. I'm going to be using this for a funnel. So if you're doing any kind of online marketing, you're doing it online in particular, take some ideas from what you get tonight. There's more than one way to skin a cat. That's the saying. And if you're going to do a live broadcast, not only can you get some value from that broadcast, but then you can record it and use it for funnels and all this kind of stuff and turn that event into years of leads and sales or whatever you're doing with your event. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set it up as if we're recording, and I'm going to do a little countdown, and that's where I know to clip it when I send out the recording, because everything you just seen, if you were here in the beginning, will be erased. So there's no point in having that. You got to shorten it as much as possible. So with that said, we're going to get started, guys. Hopefully everybody's on, and we will kick it off in 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. This is a special event. We are going to be covering sponsoring, network marketing sponsoring, or internet affiliate, any kind of online business. Basically, everything you see today, you have got to know how to sponsor. You've got to know this stuff. If you don't, you're going to find that it's going to be very difficult to make any real money online. So tonight we're going to be covering sponsoring, okay? And my name is Jay Carden. As you see, here's my slide. I'm going through some slides here for you. That's a picture of me with my little signature. The website, jcarden.com. I'll be the one giving out the information tonight. And just a little recap of what all I've been able to do. It's pretty big writing. I could probably fill up a few of these, but I'm just going to give you some basic ideas, okay, that I've sponsored people before, okay? I was a top sponsor for a previous company. I think one of the top 5. I mean, I was in the top 5. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4, but I was in the top 5 of a previous company. I did reach the top 2% in a $5 billion company, actually my very first network marketing experience. I set a record in a $1 billion company for the fastest. I reached a record for the fastest time to get to it. Just put it that way. It was a huge record. I have one of the top blogs in the MLM industry, according to Moz and Alexa. They're the ones that, keep up with the traffic. So I didn't even know that until last year. I thought I was way behind, but apparently I wasn't. I've hit leaderboards multiple times in a #1 attraction marketing platform, from sponsoring people and generating leads. So, I've learned a lot about sponsoring through, investing in education. I've learned from #1 courses, and I learn what they teach. And if I do what they do, then I'll get the results like they get. And that's how it works. And that's why I'm sharing this with you tonight. I'm going to give you but from investing a lot of time, a lot of money, and naturally I have talked to a lot of people. So that's just the way it is. You got to talk to massive amounts of people to get these numbers. So what we're going to learn tonight, we're going to go over the 4 parts to sponsoring. So that way what to master in each individual one, because I've seen people that may be good at certain parts of sponsoring, but then they fall short on others, and that's what kind of causes them to not get the results they want. Good at a particular part of those 4 parts, so you'll know which ones to practice at. I want to show you how to avoid problems. Time for a presentation and you call the prospect, they're going to be there. Nothing's 100%. Keep that in mind, because you can't never predict each individual person. I'm going to go over some objection handling. The most common objections. I'm going to show you how to handle those and, turn things around. And of course, overall, we're going to learn how to prevent most objections. If you're getting a lot of objections, then you may want to practice on some of the certain parts that will prevent those objections. Now, it's never 100%. You can be the best in the world. You're still going to get an objection from time to time, okay? But you'll know you're getting better when those objections start to fade away. We're going to go over some closing tips, help you close out more people as well. I think that's the part that everybody's afraid of the most. So let's go over the 4 parts of sponsoring. Now, look at that big number 4 there, because really there's actually 4 parts. And let's go through those. First is the invitation. That's where you reach out to a prospect either by phone or in person, and you invite them to say, hey, come in, I got something to show you. All right, that's you're initiating that first contact, and you're invited. Second part is the pre-presentation or the rapport building. This is where most people are going to make their mind up. And believe it or not, a lot of people will already know they're going to join before they've even seen the presentation. When you start doing a lot of sponsoring, you'll be surprised at how much better you get. It has a lot to do with your posture, and people will literally make up their mind like, yeah, I'm going to, whatever this person's doing, I'm probably going to get into it. So that's a really important part. This is where you've called them, you're about to show them the presentation, and you do a little chit chat, okay? And you get to know them a little bit, build a rapport. And then, of course, the third part is when you go into the presentation. And this is where, if you're in a network marketing company, they're all different. The first company I did was audio, We played an audio on a 3-way call. It worked very well, believe it or not, worked very well. Usually hit anywhere from 1 in 3 to 1 in 8 of everybody that heard that audio. And, you know, this was a company that was $5 billion company. Everybody knew it. So it was pretty amazing. And then, of course, the close. That's where, right? That is you for those, and you succeed on the close. Well, you have nothing to worry about except for unless number 5, you know, which you really don't want to have to do this, which is the follow-up. I mean, you want to get them signed up on the first call, but you know, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen all the time. Sometimes it will. You'll get better at it to where you'll see it more often. But if it doesn't, then number 5 is the follow-up. You got to get good at the follow-up. But if you get the first 4, it's pretty much down pat. So that's what we're going to be covering. Remember those 4. Think about what you need the most practice at. Or can you even get somebody to a presentation? If you're thinking, well, I can't even get someone to look at my company's presentation, well, then the invitation is where you got to work. And if that be the case, you can get them to the presentation, but they hang up during the present, perhaps, but you need to build more rapport. We'll go over all this. And then if you can get them all through there, but you can't close them, of course, work on the close. So we're going to go through that tonight. Let me get a drink of water, and we're going to get started on the first part, which is the invitation. So thirsty tonight. I've been working hard on these slides, and yeah, if that's hard work, then that's what I did. But anyway, the invitation is going to show you to get someone to actually show up for your presentation. It's you know, when you're new, it can be a little nervous. You can be nervous. You can screw this up. It's no problem. Keep going. Just keep moving. You'll get better at it. Number one thing you got to remember, where a lot of people screw up, is they talk too much about their opportunity. They'll meet someone and ask them, say, hey, you looking to make some extra money? And that person says, yeah, I mean, what is it? And then the marketer goes into sales mode and is like, oh, it's this, you know, super duper pill that makes you lose 500 pounds a month, and you make so much money, and you got 10 levels, and they start telling everything. And then the person's like, oh, I think this is kind of like that thing I heard doesn't work. You know, they build up these wrong impressions. They think, you know, they think you don't know what you're doing, especially if they know you. It's amazing how warm market seems colder than the cold market. So number one, don't talk too much. As a matter of fact, we don't even want to tell them anything. There's a magic to that. If they don't have any idea about what they're going to see, then curiosity will help get them to want to see. And also, they have no objection to show them. Okay, so that's why you got to create a BIC. They call it a BIC, or a BIC. It stands for break in communication. And this is where, if let's say, you know, Mr. Yellow meets Mr. Red over there on the right corner, and they're talking about, I don't know, anything, you know, let's say they're talking about lawns and, you know, all these different types of flowers they can plant, and weed eaters that they use to cut the grass and stuff. And you're having a conversation about that, and you realize you would like this person on your team, right? You just met them. You kind of hardly know them. The thing to do is create a BIC. Don't mention your opportunity. What you're going to do is create a break in communication. In other words, you're going to purposely stop this conversation. And the best one to use, well, the one I find myself using most of the time is, oh, Mr. Red, you know, I just realized I've got a business meeting in like 60 seconds. I have got to get on right now. So, you know, to you, but I've really got to go. And oh yeah, sure, Mr. Red's going to say, oh, that's absolutely fine. You know, it was good meeting you. But when I go to leave, I'm going to say, you know, you seem like a pretty sharp guy. I just wanted to ask real quick, do you would be interested in making some extra money? Real quick, like. Now, Mr. Red, most likely, he's going to say, well, yeah. Now, I don't know if that means, yeah, I am, or yeah, I know someone, but most likely it means, yes, I am, or they will say, yes, I am. But they'll say, yeah. And 9 times out of 10, right after that, they'll say, well, what is it? You know, and, you know, you got to think about, become Mr. Red for a minute. Mr. Red doesn't know that I knew he was going to ask that. You know, he's not thinking that far ahead because he's not, you know, he doesn't realize you're about to hit him with an invitation. So Mr. Red's like, yeah, well, what is it? And then once again, what am I going to do? I'm going to say, oh, crap. Well, I got to get on this meeting right now. I tell you what I can do. If you don't mind, I'll pull out like a pen and paper and say, if you can just, you know, write down your name and email, or number, email and phone number. I promise you, I'll get back with you within 24 hours, as soon as this meeting's over, whatever. I want to get back with you. I promise. Now, Mr. Red is going to be like, hey, sounds good. He's going to give me his information. All right, because he knows I'm in a hurry. I got to go. Now, you can use whatever BIC you want. I got to go, or they're going to find me, or, you know, anything you want. But either way, I've created a BIC, which means I'm in a hurry. I don't have time to answer questions. That's the whole point. So now I can avoid those questions that would cause Mr. Red to say, oh man, but that, you know, I had a cousin that did something like that and he said it didn't work. So you see how this is beginning to work now. Create a BIC and get their information. That's, of course, the invite is when you get their information. Would you be open to, you know, making some extra money? Would you or someone you know be open to making some extra money? They say yes. Some of them ask, what is it? As a matter of fact, most of them will. And that's when you say, you know, I can't, I got to get on this meeting right now, but I promise you, if you give me your name and your phone number and email, I will get back to you within X amount of time. You know, within 24 hours. I'll be, you know, maybe y'all were talking about something, and I promise you I'll get back with you as soon as I get back from, you know, Florida or on vacation. Well, you know, just have your fill in the blanks ready. So Mr. Red, of course, instantly would give you the information. 9 times out of 10, this is going to work. Be sure you do follow up on time. If you tell them I'm going to be back within 24 hours, get back with them. It's professional. Now on, you got to do what you say and say what you do. So Mr. Red doesn't think, well, he told me he promised me he was going to call me back before Monday, and here it is Tuesday, and I don't know if this guy's serious or not. You want to avoid that. So here's a couple of things, though. I know what you're thinking already. Well, what if the prospect doesn't want to give their info to me? Hey, from time to time, it's going to happen. From time to time, you may, you know, tell Mr. Red, you're getting out of here. You got to go to this meeting. And you're like, you give me your name and your email and phone number. I promise you, I'll be back with you before lunchtime. Then Mr. Red says, well, you know, I don't know if I feel comfortable giving that kind of information out. Well, this is how you handle that. You say, oh, I totally understand, Mr. Red. It was great meeting you, and maybe I'll see you around sometime. And you turn around and you leave. Mr. Red doesn't get a presentation. And the reason you do this is because half the time, Mr. Red's going to be like, well, you know what? Here, just take it. I'll do it this time. Or he won't. Either way, you got a better chance that he'll say, oh, hold on a second, I'll give you the information. Because Now you've got him curious, and now you don't seem like the typical network marketer that's inexperienced. Matter of fact, he don't even know if you're a network marketer or an affiliate or an internet marketer, whatever. You can do this. It doesn't have to be multi-level marketing. It's anything that needs sponsoring. So Mr. Red here can't get the wrong idea. You follow up with him, go from there. But that's what you do if he doesn't want to give the information. Now, what if the prospect doesn't show up when you call them? If they don't show up, you leave a message. And it's going to happen from time to time. They're not going to show up, but I can guarantee you this. You will have fewer no-shows by doing it this way than you will if you tell them anything about your business. Like if you told them, well, I ain't got time. Listen, I'm working for a company called Super Weight Loss, and I'll get back with you. That's all it takes. He's going to go Google it. He's going to find that one negative interview about it and say, man, I don't want to do this. And then when you call, it's like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. So you don't want to say anything. Just, you got to learn, if you're wanting to be a top sponsor, in your mind, you've got to have it to where instead of you needing people to join you, you got to realize those people need you. And you have more control, like in if they can get in or not. And you're willing to help anyone who's willing to help themselves. That's the kind of thought pattern I use. So I can, I learned not to just take anybody. I had a prospect before, and I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I wish I'd have never signed them up. And that happened pretty close in the beginning. So that is the invitation. Hopefully y'all got some good information from this part, and hopefully you're writing, taking down the notes and learning, because this is really going to help you get more people to that presentation. All right, now you're going to be on the part. Let's say Mr. Red shows up. What do we do from here? We got Mr. Red to the presentation, right? Now we've got to build that rapport. That's what we were talking about earlier. My presentation mode, my little cursor, I got a bad habit of moving that cursor. So just bear with me if it goes flying across the screen. But here's where you're going to build rapport naturally. That's something you got to learn to do. And one of the most important, some people do this in the invitation. I don't really like to do that because, remember, I'm in a hurry, but I like to do it on the rapport building. Before we hit the presentation, Mr. or what, 3 telephones, or maybe that's you, I don't know. But they answer the phone, and you're asking, building rapport. I like to ask them, be like, hey, just curious, Mr. Red, why is it you're looking for, extra money, or why is it you're looking for a side project if it doesn't interfere with what you're doing? Whatever line you use to invite, ask them why. Why are they open to this? And there's a good reason for that, because you'll get different kinds of answers. Some people will say, well, I've got hospital bills. Need something to do on my spare time. I really have a lot of time that I'd like to find a way to make some money with that time. I need to get my kids in college. You get the point. There's a million reasons why someone would need extra money or a side project or whatever. You need to know that right off the bat, because it's going to come in handy on the close. If you get that to that part, knowing their why is powerful. Now, you need to find a common connection. And for me, this is where I've closed the deal a million times. I'll be talking to a prospect, and usually in this part of the process, I already know if this is going to be a good person. It's like and we get along really good, and we can talk about anything under the sun, sports, politics, it doesn't matter, anything. And we have a good conversation. Those, 50% of the time at least, always are signups. And finding that common connection kind of pulls the subject off of the business. And I have found that to be very beneficial for me, to kind of get away from the business for a minute and, just talk like we're people again, like we did when we first met, or if we haven't had a chance to talk much, now we are. And those, sometimes I just listen to the prospect, let them talk, let them tell them about themselves, let them tell you about themselves, and listen and really take notes on what they're saying, and agree. Anything they say that you agree with, go with it. So yeah, you're right, you agree with them, and it builds that connection. And I can't tell you what the connection is going to be. That's the only part that makes this difficult to teach, is because you never know what that common connection is. You just got to find it. Something that, it could be where you're from, it could be an interest, it could be something you both have, you both have. And if that part goes good, your prospect most likely is ready to see that presentation, because now they know they like you. They like you, they trust you, and now they want to know what it is. And some of them have already made up their mind at this point. So that's what's very important about that part. So everybody's different. So, just do your best. The more you do that part, the better you're going to get at it. Then the next piece to doing good sponsoring is the presentation. This is the easy part, okay? If you can get here, you can get through this. This is easy because you're not really going to do anything. It's simple. It's a presentation. If you can be present for it, do so. I've found that when I'm on the phone with a prospect or in person, and they hear that audio on the phone, or they watch that presentation on their computer, that video, if I'm on the phone and I don't, some people are like, look, go check this out and I'll call you back in 20 minutes. And then they call back and no answer. See, I'm on the phone with them the whole time. When it's over, I don't have to worry about no answer. 9 times out of 10, they're there. Every now and then they may hang up. But I can tell you this, I've never had anyone hang up if we clicked. That's never happened. But usually if I'm having a rough time in that first part, they could. And really, if I'm not feeling it when I'm building the rapport, if I feel like, this person's got kind of the wrong mindset for this, I'm quickly just going to tell them, like, look, man, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if this is something you would be good at or you would be interested in. All right. Don't be afraid to do that, because that can get people they can do a 180 right there. So remember that if you're not digging it. But let's get into the presentation. I'll show you some more on that later. If you can be present, do it, because your numbers will increase. Now, however, by doing that, that means you're going to have less time to put more people on a presentation. If you're blitzing or something like that, and you're popping people on presentations, and then while one watches it, you call another, you can't really do it that way. But I would rather just be present and have a better chance at signing somebody up, because if I don't think they're going to sign up, I'll probably try to push them away before they even get here, because I don't want to waste my time. Let the tools do the work for you. Let your company, let your video, that whatever your opportunity is, let that do the work. Many business, that be their first impression. Think about it. They're seeing someone who most likely has had a lot of success. They're seeing these other people that we talk to, And if you and that prospect have really hit it off, this is where it gets powerful. Let the tools do the work. Don't try to jump in and do it. Okay. Don't do it. Now, I've had to do my own presentations pretty well. I made up my own. If you're in that situation, like you're in a brand new company, then, and you have to do your own presentations, like in live presentations, I would advise you to really, get some practice at it and make sure that you highlight all the important parts. Do it good. Go look at some other companies' presentations and get some ideas. But most companies and opportunities have their own presentation. So have the upline on the phone. If you've got an upline, this will kind of put that extra push on it. It raises your odds a little bit. If they're watching the presentation, my upline already knows I'm doing this call, right? They're sitting by the phone in case I need them. I'll give them a call. Even if I could do it by myself, I'll still, call. You can introduce them. Say, hey, this is Mr. Upline. Mr. Upline, this is Mr. Red. And let them talk, and don't just sit back and let the upline talk to them. What this is doing is they're seeing there's more than just you. The more they see people having success and more people are serious about it, it builds a more realistic, image to the prospect, instead of building what most network marketers actually do is they build a negative, misleading type of image in the prospect, because he's, or she's building that in her head. So letting the tools do the work for you, having the upline on the phone, all of this is good for your chances of your prospect going through. Now, here we go. Here we're going into the closing. All right, presentation's easy. If you got, not everybody has an upline. I know that. If you don't, it's okay. You can still succeed. Upline has very little to do with your success, unless, they sponsor a lot of people and you're in a binary, and then that helps a lot. But other than that, it's not a needed absolute thing. So let's go into closing. Is where I'm really scared here, because asking for that money, woo, that's scary, ain't it? That's where they get, a little shy and they blow it. But this is what you want to do. When they come off the presentation, you had a good conversation. They showed up for the presentation. You built some good rapport. You found some things in common. They're coming off that presentation. Instead, this is where a lot of people mess up. They say, well, Mr. Red, what did you think? What'd you think about that, huh? Well, that's not really a smart question, because then Mr. Red may say, well, I don't really know. I'm not too sure about this, or I really didn't like what he said about, something like that. You're opening the door for something negative to come out. So instead, ask, what did you like most? Tell me what your favorite part is, not what you think about it. What is your favorite part? So they will give you something for you to work with. They may say, let's just say you're in a travel company. Not, for instance, you're in a travel company. I know some of you guys here tonight are. And when they come out and you say, well, like you know what I really like? I like the idea of being able to go to Europe, for cheap. That's really that's what caught my eye. I love it. But what are you going to do? Like I said earlier, you're going to agree with them. It's like, oh yeah, Europe. It is awesome. What part is your favorite? You can do a little bit of a little bending and twisting here. Get some, open him up, relax him, ask him some questions about his favorite part. or her favorite part, because we want them to think all about that favorite part. The more they are focused on that favorite part, you get the point. The more they're focused on what they like, the easier it's going to be to close. Instead of trying to be on the defensive and say, well, it is a payment every month, but think about it, man. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be on the defense. You always want to be on the offense and just making this as easy for your prospect as possible. So ask them what they liked most and go with it. Remind them now, if they start sounding anything like doubtful, like, oh yeah, but I wish, I just wish I had more time or something like that. If they start feeling any, you get a sense of, oh man, the distract, don't let them dwell on that. Keep them on the good stuff. Remind them of their why. Be like, this opportunity here, it definitely can help, pay off those hospital bills, or, this can definitely help with you to, for you to use in your spare time. This will give you something to do during that spare time, and then you can focus on getting to Europe, your favorite place, whatever. Remind them of their why if you need that. Introduce your upline, and get this, guys. Remember, if you have an upline, this is what's really powerful. Introduce them, sit back, and let the upline talk for a little bit. I like to do that shortly after I get off the phone. So when you come off the phone, you ask them what they like most. Yeah. Say, hey, that's great. Talk a second. Say, listen, I've got, so-and-so, my upline, on the line, and I was just wanting, him to meet you, because I've already told him all about you, what kind of guy you are, and he really wants to meet you. The prospect's great. I've been telling my upline about how awesome you are, or whatever it was when you met them, like their vehicle. Let's say they have this awesome sports car, and y'all talked about it for a minute. I was just telling my upline how awesome his car is. And prospect feeling like they are important, but at the same time, they've already got the ideas like, this guy doesn't need me at all. This guy does not need me, but he thinks a lot of me. All right, now think about that. Okay, yeah, they may just sign up, So that's why I always like to keep everything positive. I don't ever want to focus on any negative. So introduce your upline, and then just shut up and let them do their job. Let them talk for a minute. Usually, if the upline is really good, they don't try to close for you, unless you ask them to. I don't want my upline to close. I want my upline to get on the phone, talk a little bit, get to meet them, tell them, hey, what good things have come from them, how me and the upline met, and how great of a guy I am. My upline's telling, my prospect, hey, I'm a great guy. You're going to love working with Jay. He's a really good guy, but I just wanted to meet you, and I'll let y'all go, man. It sounds like, you're ready to get started, and I can't wait to work with you. So I'll let y'all go and finish up. That's what Ray Higdon did with me. If you know who Ray Higdon is, he was the upline that was on the three-way with me, and that's how he handled it. And it was just so awesome. So anyway, be positive. Always have that strong posture. Remember, if they say, look, man, hey, I'm not interested in this. Say, hey, Mr. Red, it's no problem. I understand. Definitely. If you change your mind, just give me a call. Okay. And, a lot of people, when they deal with network marketers, if they say, yeah, I don't know if this is for me. They're like, yeah, oh yeah, it's for you. Trust me, you're going to do so good. And they seem like, oh, don't walk away. Please don't walk away. Versus a network marketer that if the prospect says, I don't know if I'm if this is right for me. Be like, hey, I totally get you, man. It's okay. That's fine. It's not for everybody. But just keep me in mind if you change your mind. If not, let's catch up again at the football game and have some hot dogs, and then just drop it. And you've got a better chance of them coming back months down the road saying, hey, you remember that thing you were telling me about? Because, guys, I've talked to people, and 6 months later, I get a call, and they're like, hey, by the way, remember me? Like, absolutely. I have to pull up my CRM, of course, pull them up, type in their name. Like, what do we talk about? And then I remember our conversation better than them. And then I'm telling them, like, oh, yeah, how'd your dog do? Did you get his leg fixed? And then they're like, oh, yeah, that's right. My dog broke its leg. How'd you? Thought you were awesome, man. See, it's really that's the mentality here. Also, the closing line, you need to throw that in and recommend the highest package. Let me explain this. The closing line, I like to use what I have found that works best for me. We've hit it off. It's going good. They sing the presentation. We've talked a lot. I mean, I've just sat there and listened to them go on forever about how awesome it is and all the people they're going to tell this to. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's great. That's good. Closing comes and I'm ready. All right, we got to move on. I'll be like, so Mr. Red, you see yourself benefiting from this, right? Oh, absolutely. And they always say yes or absolutely if we get this far. And I'm like, all right, well then sounds to me like you're ready to get started. So let me explain a few things. Okay. And when I tell them sounds like you're ready to get started, I don't ask. Signed up today? No. Don't ask. Sometimes you got to hold their hand and help them through that fear. Because there's a lot of fear. I mean, hey, anytime I join something new, I get that feeling. But I'm an entrepreneur, and I know that I must ignore that feeling. And if I fail at something, it's okay. It's spent $500 for an opportunity, and the company shut down the next month. Yeah, it sucks, but I'm not dwelling on it. I'm not thinking about it no more. Something good come out of it. And what if it's the other way? What if I'm making $50,000 more dollars? So you got to help them through that fear. Have a good closing line. I prefer, do you see yourself benefiting from this? And if they say, yeah, you can say, well, this is, and we do, and then go into the purchase, what they need to purchase. Or just say, sounds to me like you're ready to get started. So let me tell you what I recommend. All right. And then you start off. We have, 3 ways to get started. Number 1, it's the cheap package. Now, I don't recommend this, but it's still better than nothing. So if that's the best way to come in for you, then that'll at least get you in the team. If your company will allow them to upgrade later, that's great, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the second package. This one gives you this and this and this and that. Explain it. This one is, a little bit better, and it's still better than coming in with the first one I told you about. But really what I highly recommend for what you told me, you want to get to Europe and you need something to do in your spare time, I think Europe would be great. I think this one is the best because it's going to make you the most money. It's going to give you the most days in Europe, and this is probably the best bet for you. This is what I recommend. And so you almost, instead of becoming a person who is trying to sell something, you're becoming more of a consultant. Think of it. When people go to the doctor, and they go to the doctor and say, hey, doc, I'm feeling sick. The doctor doesn't say, hey, would you like to do this or would you like to do that? He says, listen, this is what you have, what I recommend you do to fix that problem. And see, as a network marketer or whatever, if you're sponsoring people, you're actually in the business of helping people make money. So you recommend, from what you've told me you want to do, this is what I recommend you get. and voila, most, a lot of them will do it. I never will all of them do it, but you get the point. You can sell, and in network marketing, I don't know of any company that pays more for selling the smallest package. You know, so you want to sell the biggest package you can every time because that's the most beneficial to your prospect. So that's the best way to close them out, guys. Promise you I'd go objections. I want to move a little quicker here. So much information, you see, and I've got like 1 hour to get all this out. I could probably go on for hours with all the cool things you can do, but try to invest more time into webinars like these, and you will get better, and you will get to where you can sign people up a lot. And those common objections that people always get, objections are annoying. They're absolutely annoying, and sometimes you get them. The more you do this, the more you practice, the less objections you're going to get. As a matter of fact, the braver you get. And it seems like people get this sense of the energy you put out. They're like, whoa, that person is professional just by the tone of your voice and things like that. And heck, you may not even sign anybody up. I mean, that's what happened with me. I got a course from Ray Higdon, and the first person I signed up tells me, when I tell them, 3-4 weeks later that they were the first, they almost had a heart attack. They were like, I was your first sign up. I'm like, yeah. Oh, I thought you've been doing this for years. I was like, well, I didn't say that, did I? And they're like, no, I just assumed. I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't know. And that's when it dawned on me. I was like, dang, this stuff is working. The posture. But one of the most common ones is, I don't have the money. I don't know if I can afford it. Or I don't have that kind of money. You know how that is. Well, usually that's rarely the case, guys. Everybody's got the money for it. Thing is they have other choices to use their money for. Their why is not great enough. I guess you could say that. The way I would handle this, if somebody tells me they don't have the money, I'm like, I got you, I understand, but Mr. Red, hey, I'm a big boy. I'm just curious. Are you telling me this because you want to get in, or are you? Okay, and then just let them answer. Are you telling me this because you don't want to join? I mean, you just go ahead and be blunt. Don't pretend like you don't know that a lot of times that's what it means. I'm not interested. I don't have the money. See, you can't argue with that. I can't do it if I want to. So you ask them, well, are you telling me this to get in? Or are you telling me this to get out? And if they say to get out, be like, well, that's all right. I understand. It's not for everybody. Hey, listen, if you change your mind, give me a call. It's that simple. I don't like to put pressure on them. But if that's that one thing, and they say, well, no, I'm telling you that because I really don't have the money, and I really would like to have the money to do this. I'll say, well, hey, I understand, and I'm willing to work with you. Okay. First off, find out what kind of income they got coming in and what's going out. Usually it's just a matter of, hey, don't go out Friday night. Stop going out on Friday night. Or if they're already purchasing something like your products, hey, stop doing that. And then you got the money, find out, be like, hey, let's say it's a $500 buy-in, and say, okay, well, how far are we from the 500? Or you may even say, well, maybe we should go with the small package, whatever. And if they say they don't have the money, well, how far are we from the 500? Well, I've already got 200. I mean, I got it saved away for a rainy day. Was like, so really all we need is 3. That's really all we're working with. All right, you got anything you can sell or anything you can do without for a few days until that money comes in quicker? A lot of times they don't understand they already have the money. It's just a lot of the things they're purchasing is they're making a choice to buy a beverage every time that, that large cappuccino, that trip to Starbucks every day. Those are things that they don't realize that if they just quit doing it there's the money. It's not that they don't have it, it's just they're sending it out on something else. So you can kind of work with them if they say they want in, and you can get that, turned around and get them get the money and get in. But one thing you never do is you never pay for it. I had a guy on my team one time, he had a lot of money at once. He bought a few people in. They never did anything. So don't pay their way in, because then they won't do nothing. Another objection, is this a pyramid scheme? Well, the way I would answer that is, well, no. Is that what you're looking for? Kind of flip that around, be like, no, man, are you looking to do a pyramid scheme? And they most likely will say no. Like, no, of course not. Be like, okay, well, then we're good. There you go. I have before used, somebody says, well, is this a pyramid? It sounds like a pyramid. I'm like, no. What is your definition? Tell me what a pyramid scheme is. And then let them tell you. And they're like, well, it's, one of those things where everybody at the top's making money and everybody down at the bottom, they ain't making nothing. Oh, kind of like Walmart, working at Walmart. You got all the big guys up top and all the part-time employees at the bottom. They can't make no money because they have to wait on somebody to get fired or quit or die before they can move up. That is a pyramid. In network marketing, you can come in today and be making more money than the guy who brought you in tomorrow. So no, it's not a pyramid. So, but I would prefer to ask them, you can use that from time to time. What's your definition? And then let them explain it, and then give them like, oh, okay, in your explanation, you're talking about this, like Walmart or a big company. No, that's not what we are. Because in a pyramid, the people on the bottom are not allowed to make more than someone above them. But let's face it, truth is, anything you break down in a structure will look like a pyramid, okay? So really, the pyramid is irrelevant to the actual opportunities and stuff. Everything's a pyramid. All right. Whoa, double tap. I don't have the time. If someone says that, usually I'm just like, well, a lot of that, if you could, if you do this, would you be willing to, work to earn extra time? Because the work you're doing here, you can do, without having to add extra hours. And that's true. Like just in your everyday life, if you're working, 50 hours a week, you can talk to people at work. You can call people on your lunch break. You only need a little bit of time. And if somebody's really, really busy, I will offer my time to help them get if they can get some prospects, I'll work those prospects for them. If they're telling the truth that they're really busy. But usually when somebody doesn't have the time, you need to remind them that's the whole point of this, is so you will have time. But, let me ask you this. If you don't change something, will you ever have the time? Make them think about that. If you don't change something, will you ever have the time? And the answer is no. I'll never have time if I keep doing what, working 50 hours a week and doing this and that. So you make them understand that they need a income coming in that will free up their time. And that's why it's important. I don't have the time is really like saying, I really need a network marketing opportunity. That's really what that means. And a lot of people just haven't seen it yet. They think they got that's another 40 hours a week. No, that ain't the case. Now, if they say I have to ask my wife or ask my husband, usually it's like, great, hey, I understand. And never, ever tell somebody to hide it from their spouse. It's like, that's not good. So tell them, hey, I understand. Are they around? Ask if they're around. And if they are, let her see the presentation. Let him see the presentation. Let's talk. See if that spouse is around. If not, get a time when they come back. If they avoid you from then on, then they most likely weren't interested. Okay, so it's always good if you can get that other spouse to meet you as well. Because remember this, if one of them has met you and the other one hasn't, well, the one on the defensive, when let's just say you talk to the wife, excited about it, and she tells her husband, I met this man, well, it won't sound good, but yeah, I met this man, he's got a great opportunity, it's this and that, and you know, I'm all into bodybuilding and this and that. He's like, no, that's a scam. So he doesn't know, you haven't met, you haven't seen it. He's just going to flat out just assume that's what it is, and she's lost her mind. So it's important that you get him on the phone, because when he sees it himself and hears your voice and meets you, it's like, oh, well, this person isn't what I would have thought had I not talked to him. So if you can do it, get them on the phone. Is this MLM? That's another one. You know, if they say, hey, is this network marketing or is this MLM? I would, if it is, I would always say yes. Now, if you're doing an affiliate, if I'm talking to them about something like internet marketing or affiliate marketing opportunities, usually I'll say, no, this isn't the multi-level, but it does have some of the best parts of that in it. But if I'm talking about an actual MLM, then I'm going to say, yes, it is. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't. That's it. Is this MLM? Yes, it is. That's why I do it. I mean, really, in my opinion, multi-level marketing, network marketing is one of the smartest things you can do, because it's a very, very small, so it's better in stock. So number 5, let's say you do have to do a follow-up. We'll move through this part quick. A follow-up, you're going to have to reach out to them, right? Make sure you're always on time. Like if they say, hey, you know, come Friday, I'll have the money, you know, and y'all agree to speak at 8 p.m. on Friday, make sure you're on time. All right. The second one, be ready to let them go quickly. And what I mean by that is if you call them for a follow-up and they don't answer, okay, perhaps they're not as professional as you thought, or you can tell them, hey, this is so-and-so, you know, hey, Mr. Red, this is Jay. I was calling you. We had a scheduled time to call. I hope everything's okay. If you get time, you know, holler back at me. I was calling to follow up with you, check in on you, et cetera, et cetera. And I throw my number out there a couple of times and let it be. I may call them again the next day. And if they don't answer the next day, I'm going to let them know that I'm letting them go. Be like, this is Jay. I'm calling you back. I haven't heard from you in a while. Hope everything's okay. But look, I've got a lot of people to go through, so I was calling to let you know. If I couldn't reach you, just, you know, reach out to me, because you know, as of now, just assume you're not interested. Luck to you. I'm going to let them go. Let them go. Bye-bye. Don't need you. Okay. Number 1, because usually if they don't call you back, they're not interested. And number 2, if you pull that one, you'll turn a percentage of them back around to you. So I'd rather pull a few of those back than I would calling the guy every day, please answer, please answer. And then you don't look like somebody they want to work with. If you want to appear as somebody they want to work with, then they got to feel like, oh crap, this person is going to like not let me in. I better call them back and make up a story, you know, that this is why I didn't answer. I invite them to webinars. Like if you got a follow-up and somebody's on the fence and they're like, yeah, I'm really, you know, thinking about, or my spouse hasn't told me yet for sure. Be like, look, I get you, man. I was just letting you know tonight's a big event, and give them the link to your company's webinar and let them see, you know, all those success stories and things like that. That's powerful, because then they say, hey, it's not just this one person. There's lots of people doing this and are enjoying it. So it's real important, you know, invite them to webinars. Those are powerful. Use the paper app trick if possible. I've actually wrote a blog on this, and this is where you actually, when you talk to someone, if they're on the fence, let's say Mr. Red's on the fence, but I talked to Mr. Yellow and he signed up today, right? Well, I'm going to write his information down on paper. I'm not actually going to put him into the outline yet, That way I can call Mr. Red and say, hey, Mr. Red, listen, we were talking. Yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, I was going to let you know that today, actually, Mr. Yella got started, and I really think Mr. Yella is going to do really well. But I remember I talked to you first, and I just wanted to be fair and let you know if you can get started today, Mr. Yellow is going to be your downline. I want to put him in your team so you can earn off of him as well. You know, think of the enormous sense of urgency to that. You could do this and go through your whole list of people that are on the fence or thinking about it, because if you're doing a lot of calls, you're going to build a lot of people like that. And then just tell them, and let's say Mr. Red got started, write his name down on paper, right? And then call Mr. White and be like, Mr. White, guess what? Yeah, Mr. Red and Mr. Yellow got started today. But I talked to you first, and I was just letting you know if there's a way you can get started today, Mr. Red and Mr. Yellow is going to be in your downline so you can get paid off of them. Mr. White's going to jump in. And you see, and the more this goes on, the more sense of urgency it is to each prospect. So use that. If you got a binary, you can do that. If it's unilevel, I'm not sure how that binary pull that trick off. Ray Higdon did it, got 5 people in a day off of it. I've done it, gotten 3 in one day. So definitely use it. Now, guys, I want to leave you with a note here. Work your numbers. The best way to get good at sponsoring is to start speaking to people. The truth is, I've read this, and it made perfect sense of why so many people fail. 80%, that means 8 out of every 10 people that join a network marketing company will not even speak to more than 3 people. 80% of all the first sales are on or around the 15th contact. So they got about 1/5 of the way there and quit. So if it takes 15 people to get your first, sale on average 80% of the time, I mean, for some it could take more, for some it could take less. But you get the point. It takes a lot of people. It takes a lot of people to go through these processes. You just got to work them. And if you're putting people through the process every day, and more people are seeing the presentations, you're going to have more people calling you back down the road. You're going to have more people on the fence. You're going to have more people X'd off your list, more people who sign up, makes your head spin, more people that got signed up after a few objections. You'll have a little bit of everything, but you will build an empire. And you got to get good at sponsoring, plain and simple. There's no way to make money in any home business like network, internet marketing, affiliate marketing, if you don't know how to sponsor. So if you really, really, really want to get in and be serious about sponsoring, you need to learn from the guy I learned from. Now, Ray Higdon is, and not only did he sponsor me as my, he was the upline on the 3-way. Right. My actual sponsor was another guy, but he called Ray on the cell phone. Ray answered. We talked. And Ray didn't know that I already knew who he was. And so I asked questions just to see how he would respond. And he did good. I mean, as a matter of fact, if had I not known Ray, I'd been like, man, this guy, I got to work with this guy. He's good. He is so good. It's amazing. And anybody can do this. It really is. I mean, this guy, before he actually invested himself into sponsoring, he was losing his house and everything. He was in foreclosure and debt, got divorced. His whole world was falling apart. And he went from like $300 in his bank account to millions of dollars in just a matter of months, because he picked the phone up and got 20 people every day to say no. So if a person said yeah, he had to keep going until he got 20 no's. And I think in 5 months, he was up to like 30,000, somewhere in there. It was pretty good. And then once you hit 30, hitting 40 is easier. Hitting 50 gets easier. Hitting 60 gets even more easier. if you keep the process going. But Ray is the one that created the course, Master Sponsoring Secrets. And there it is. That's the course I actually learned sponsoring from. A lot of what I taught tonight came from that. And of course, it's over 5 hours worth of information, and it's a lot more detailed. But when I started using what I learned in that course, I was able to, within my first month of taking what I learned, in under 3 weeks, I had 24 people personally enrolled. That's personally. And it was like 3 levels deep, 3, maybe 4. There was like a 4th one that popped in there, I think. But it was just, it was duplicating. And a lot of the people that were joining were calling. I mean, I was on the phone constantly, but it was really cool because my check was growing. I was, helping my downline get people signed up while I was doing my own. And I personally got 24 myself, and probably double that just about through my downline. And I became a team in the network that I was working with at the time. It blew them away. And they're like, how'd you do it? Because we were supposed to purchase leads. I said, look, man, Master Sponsoring Secrets, I just take what he teaches and do what he does. Ray Hickton, there you go. But anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit about this and help you out here. Master Sponsoring Secrets is a 4-module course. Module 1 is the secret questions of top recruiters. Knowing what to ask your prospect in the beginning is how you build the ammunition for a good close. Ray will go over a lot of things to ask your prospects and things he's learned that he's really been able to get a lot of people signed up with. Module 2 is powerfully driving and accepting bonuses, commissions. Well, when a lot of people break down when it's time to ask for the money, you really can't do that. And Ray explains and teaches some things that will make you understand that asking for the money is important and you're worth it. Knowing your worth is important, and learning to not back down from asking for money is important. Plus, he'll go through several objections that you'll get. He'll show you how he handles them, and more objection handling. You can never get enough of that. I love it. Module 3 is on persuasion, attraction marketing, and leveraging. Now, that one's powerful because attraction marketing is where people are attracted to you. They want to work with you. You don't even ask them, you don't prospect them. And you eventually get to a point where people start asking if they can join you because you start becoming successful. But you're not going to get there until you start sponsoring. That's what it leads to. And he talks about that. Leveraging, how to leverage your team, persuasion. He'll go through posture, some of the things people may say that'll try to bring you down, how to pull out of that, and then flip a lot of those around. In module 4, you'll go through prospecting, test closing, more, you can never learn enough about closing. Closing is where it counts, because if you don't close them, all of it, the rest of it's for nothing. And teaches you how to build empires. In other words, large teams. So I'm going to show you exactly what he did and how he did it. And if you actually get this course and follow what he teaches, you will begin to see results like his. Ray will tell you, he's like, if you think you know everything, look at your results. What do they speak? If you ain't got a check coming in, then apparently you need to listen to someone who does have a check coming in. He also will talk in module 4 with a guest on how to flip people when they approach you about their business. Just what she does when somebody hits her up on Facebook, saying, oh, can you join my opportunity? It's great. And doing all that, inexperienced network marketer. And then she's going to show you how to flip that around and be the experienced marketer, and then get that person to want to join you. And then you can teach that person the right way. And that person will help you build a team. So there's so much value in this. It's actually exactly how Ray went from $300 to making millions in just months. Within 2 years, the guy was multi-million. It was so fast because he actually got on the phone and did what everyone knows we need to do, which is sponsor, call people, talk to people, invite people, and learn how to sponsor. And that's what he does. Well, anyway, he released this course. He wanted people to be able to afford it. And the course value is just in $297. To be honest with you, I believe each module itself, from what I learned from it, is worth $297. Just the each individual module. However, since you guys are on my webinar and I got a little bit of ways I can actually help you get this course and a ton more for a lot less. It's the Ultimate Network Marketing Package. And if you act fast, this is only for a limited time. I'm not sure. It may be 7 days, it may be 2 weeks, but it will not stay this way. And it's going to go back up to 300 or 297 pretty quick. But Master Sponsoring Secrets, or series, however you want to call it, you can get it today for just $97 and learn exactly what Ray did to become the #1 income earner in his company and one of the top network marketers of all time. And what blows my mind is how fast he did this. And that's why I got the course. And I put my name on it 100%. But if you act tonight and grab his course, I tell you what, guys, I'm going to throw in some bonuses. All right, I want to make this well worth your, so much value that you think you stole it from me, okay? Well, I'm going to throw in some bonuses. And the first bonus is going to be another training from Ray Higdon. I love this guy. He's really good. It's the top 10 prospecting tricks. It's one of the videos that is one of the first ones I ever watched from him before Master Sponsoring Secrets. And if you don't know how to generate leads or how to get people, this is why you want to see this. It's a $97 value. I'm going to give it to you for free. You're going to have it for free, okay? You're not going to pay for it if you get the course. He'll go through the top 10 tricks that he does in order to find prospects and to get people on that presentation. That's a very powerful training. It is. I used what he taught and started, following it to a T. I was bringing in leads quicker than I ever thought possible. And that's when I decided, you know what? I'm not going to buy leads anymore. I'm not going to buy leads. I'm just going to get my own. Bonus number 2, I'm also going to throw in, if you pick it up tonight, the get 4 million people to see your tweet. Okay, this is a $97 training video. It is taught by a man named Adam Chandler. He's a Twitter expert, and he does very good on Twitter. And he's going to show you how to get 4 million people to see a tweet. If you think about that, if you need leads or you got an internet marketing opportunity, you need some people to look at it. If 4 million people see a tweet about it, you're going to get some results out of 4 million people, unless you're just really, really terrible at tweeting, which is real simple. It's a short little sentence, throw in a link. But I want to throw that in free. Now so you can build you a Twitter audience and start leveraging social media such as Twitter to get more leads and more signups. But why not? Bonus number 3, create your first ebook. I think this one's great, and it's another $97 value. It's by Keisha Bass, and she teaches you how to build ebooks. And I'm not talking about just typing. She's going to show you the websites where you can get these free images and actually build an ebook that looks super professional. And you can use these ebooks for lead magnets. You can give them away on your website. You can sell them. I guess, you know, Amazon Kindle. You can do anything you want with these ebooks. If you're going to do anything online, having an ebook is powerful. You can give it away as a bonus, you know, like, you know, me giving away the training video for it. But you can give away an ebook to someone for their email address and, you know, develop leads. I want to throw that in for free. It's very good. It's very powerful. And if you really, really want to create an ebook that looks sharp, you're going to like and love what you get on that bonus. But, you know, of course, I don't want to leave you with just that. I might as well throw in one more. And this one is one of my favorites. Okay. Bonus number 4. And once again, another $97 value. Get that. But I'm going to throw it in free with the others. YouTube lead gen. If you know, I know YouTube is not something everyone does. However, consider it. Watch how powerful it is. Just making a few videos from time to time, what that will do. And Mark Harbert is the man to listen to. He is a YouTube lead generation expert. As a matter of fact, he's the all-time lead generation expert in an attraction marketing platform. He knows what he's doing, and he's going to show you how to create leads using your videos. Most people think they can just make a video and throw it on YouTube. No way. You got to know everything about the video, the description and the titles, all that stuff, and some cool things you can do to trigger the bots in YouTube, all that stuff. You're going to get a lot from this. $97 value, and it also comes with a free PDF, which is 101 video creation ideas. So you'll, you know, with 101 ideas on what you can create a video about, I think about that. 101 video creation ideas. That's another $100 value, but it's going to be free for you. It's an excellent training video. All if you get Master Sponsoring Secrets while I've got this limited special going. It fits perfect with what we're talking about tonight. Know about it. It was the course, and until this day, it's still, I think, my favorite course that I've ever purchased. And the thought of knowing that this is only $97 compared to thousands of dollars for the others, it just makes no sense. I would have to tell you about this one. So real quick, if you pick up Master Sponsoring Secrets, you're going to get all 4 modules. It's a $297 value. I'm going to throw in the 4 bonuses, the top 10 prospecting tricks, 97. Get 4 million tweet views, another 97. Create your first ebook, YouTube lead gen, and the free PDF. It all comes out to be a total value of $685. Tonight, if you grab it tonight, for a limited time, you're going to get it for just $97. Now, this won't last long. I mean, it's not going to last forever. But I do want to keep it up for as long as possible in case you need some time to, you know, maybe you're waiting on a check or something, or however. This is going to be one of the best investments you'll ever make for your education and for your business. If you're in network marketing, internet affiliate, any of that, you got to sponsor. This is the course, guys. So with that said, all you got to do to pick this up, guys, is to visit jaycarden.com/products. jaycarden.com. You're going to get it for just $97. And if you're on live tonight, I'm about to come out of the slides. I'll throw the link up for you if I can get in there and find it. I'm going to throw it up on the corner so you can go now. But everyone else that's getting this recording, go pick this product up. If you got value from tonight's training and you've learned a lot, you're going to be blown away by what else there is to learn. And you're going to get all of that from Master Sponsoring Secrets. So go check it out, jaycarden.com/products. And I will see you guys on the next video. And for you guys that are still with me live, hold on one second. I'm about to come out of the slides. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast. I'm about to pull out. Just 1 second. We're going to go back to the screen. And when you start doing live webinars, they always said, for those that stay till the end, those are the most serious of all the people. Your screen sharing. I think, here we go. I'm going to hit stop. All right, let me see what we got here, guys. We got a lot of people on tonight. Let me pull this here. There's a lot of y'all guys are still here. That's amazing. All right, this should show up over there. You'll have it over there on the right corner. Let me go in here and see what we got going on. Let me see. All these buttons, y'all don't see them. I see them on my side. But I'm really hope you guys got a lot of value from tonight. If you've never sponsored before, trying to see what it says here. Something there. I don't know what that means. It says somebody's raised their hand. Well, but it doesn't tell me how to answer. All right, guys. All right, I'm going to leave that up there. If you got any questions, let me see if I can pull that up. I'll be pulling the Q&A up here in just a second. Maybe that'll work right there. And usually, if you've got a question, you should see it over on the left side of your screen. There'll be a place to put in a question. I understand there could be a delay. You guys may be seeing this 30 seconds after I mention it. If you got a question, you can put it over there. Usually when there's a webinar like this with a Q&A, one person's watching the questions and letting me know, because it's hard to operate two things at once. But tonight, just remember, I'll go back through it. I'm going to let everybody, I got to go back over there to the offer. The invitation, if you can master the invitation, number one, and I think really a lot of people, if they could just get the invitation down right, because the more people that see your presentation by default will sign up. If only they can get that one part good, they will see a result. And usually when you get a sign up, it triggers something to make you want to do more. And that energy you get comes off on people. I don't know how to explain it other than your prospect will pick up on the energy that you put out. So make sure when you're prospecting people, never, like sound down and about. Like if somebody says, well, is this a pyramid scheme? You don't want to say, like that affected you at all. You got to keep your posture. You don't want to say, well, no, I mean, no, and start cowering down, because a lot of people, what they want to do is when you're having a conversation with them, sometimes they like to try to push you down and them get on the conversation. So when they do that to you, you got to know what to say and stay above the conversation. I do it all the time. That's why when somebody said, hey, is this network marketing or is this MLM? I'm like, yeah, of course. Do it if it wasn't. And some of them may just say, well, I'm not interested. But some of them be like, oh, well, I thought that was bad, right? Nope. So there you go. Keep your posture, keep your head up, stay strong. If you grab tonight's offer, one more thing, I'm just waiting a few minutes for the delay. Dang, we went nearly an hour and a half. I'm hoping if y'all guys stayed on for an hour and a half, I hope y'all loved it. I mean, I did as best I could. I hope you got a lot from it. Shoot me an email if you did. But damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, for an hour and a half for everybody to still be here. That's awesome. I just want to leave it up a little bit longer if you haven't got the offer. If you do, know that the bonuses I will be sending out are going to be in a separate email. You'll get the product. You'll get, like, I think maybe a password, and you'll get a code so you can actually get in and view the modules. and you'll always have access to it. And then what I'll do is when you get in and I'm alerted, that you got the product, I'm going to put your bonuses together into one email and then send them out. And each one of those will have a link that will take you directly to the next training video, each video. Top 10 prospecting tricks. If you're new to network marketing, that one's going to be the best. That one's the one that you're probably going to get for the bonuses. It's going to get a lot of value because I generated, oh God, tons of leads. And my first network marketing experience, they told us to buy them. We had to buy leads. You got to buy leads. And they were selling them for like $160 a piece. And I bought them because I didn't know any better. And I mean, they were for purchase leads, they were good. But when you pay $160 for a lead and you buy $3,000 worth and only get 24 leads, I mean, you need them to be really good. And I think maybe 4 people out of that signed up. So that's good. That's good leads. 3 or 4 people out of 24, but they were so expensive, nobody could purchase them. So duplication was really hard. I seen Ray Higdon. I got his video and top 10 prospecting tricks. And next thing you know, I'm generating my own leads. I'm getting signups and I ain't paying squat. I'm getting free signups. So they wouldn't let me on their webinars, the network, because they wanted me to say I was doing that from buying the leads, and I wouldn't do it. They were like, well, tell them you bought 50 leads a month. No, I just got Master Sponsoring Secrets, and I watched a couple of Ray's videos, and I was sponsoring. That's the truth, and that's all I couldn't get on the webinars. But anyway, guys, it looks like we're going to be headed out. I'm looking to see. There's a way. There it goes. All right, there's the offer. Sorry, guys. You can still go to JCard. I didn't hit show. The whole time I thought it was there. But that's the offer if you want to get Master Sponsoring Secrets. I'm going to see if there's a way to tell, because I haven't had a webinar this large in a while. And it'd really help if I had, someone else to operate the machines while you talk to people. But that's the offer. I'm going to leave it up for just a couple minutes, and we're going to head out because it's 9:28. We got 2 minutes left, and this bad boy is going to be over. If there was anything you need to know, you have questions about the product, you have questions about what we covered, questions about the bonuses, you can shoot me an email at j@jcarden.com. And by sometime tomorrow, I'll be able to get to all the emails. I get a lot of emails. But remember, j@jcarden.com. You can shoot me an email. You can click the button over there and go check it out. Or you can visit jcarden.com/products. Remember, products. That's all it is. My website /products. And actually, if you do that, you'll see at the top it says products. You click on it, scroll down, you'll see Master Sponsoring Secrets. But it's the only product right now that comes with the bonuses. So be sure you grab it as quick as possible and learn all you can about sponsoring, because that's where the money is, guys. That's where the money is. Residual anyway. There's other ways to make money online. I mean, you can eBay. I do a lot of eBay. But it's not residual. You sell, it's gone. You can't sell the same thing twice. But network marketing, it's pretty good. All right, we got less than 1 minute. I'm going to hold that up for any last, and here it goes. It's about to be off the air, and you will not be able to get the product. Remember, if you got questions, send it to j@jcarden.com. You can email me, contact me any way you can think of, and it's 9:30. We're going to call it a night. I hope you guys got a lot of information from this. I hope you got a lot of value from tonight's presentation. I'll try to get some more going, and I'll also try to work on getting some guests, some people that maybe one day Ray Higdon, things like that. Get them onto these webinars to share more value. And, you know, the webinars will always be free. From time to time, we'll do a product. Um, Something is worth way more than what it costs, like this product. We'll definitely throw those out there for those who want it. But other than that, you can always get the information free, regardless of the product or not. So guys, I want to say thank you all for coming out, and thank you for so many of you staying on till the end. And I'm about to click this button. So if you haven't got the product, go grab it now if you want. Don't wait. I am closing the door. All right, guys. We ran a minute over. Bye-bye.